Marshals Season 2 is heading to CBS this fall. The most widely predicted premiere window is October 2026. The season will run at least 18 episodes and possibly 20, and Tate Dutton is already in Texas with the man who tried to destroy his father's team. The same Texas where Beth and Rip are preparing to go to war with a cartel that's holding Carter. Does anyone actually understand what this timeline creates? What does a minimum 18-episode season arriving in October actually give the crossover that a shorter season never could? And how does Tate killing someone to protect his family, for the second time in 2 different shows, end up being the moment that brings the entire Yellowstone universe together? Let's break it down. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you considered subscribing. We cover every development across the Yellowstone franchise the moment it happens, and what's building between these 2 shows right now is the biggest thing the franchise has attempted since Yellowstone ended. Okay, let's rebuild the exact setup, because the crossover argument only works if you understand precisely what Season 1 left in place. Marshals Season 1 premiered on March 1st, 2026 on CBS. 9.52 million viewers on premiere night. 20.6 million multi-platform viewers within 7 days of that first episode. CBS's most streamed episode ever on Paramount+. The most watched network original series premiere without a football lead-in since Young Sheldon in 2017. They renewed it 11 days after it premiered. 11 days. Season 1 ran 13 episodes and ended on May 24th. And here's the specific setup that Season 1's finale built for what comes next. Kayce and his team had been investigating attacks against Thomas Rainwater all season, trying to connect the dots on who was behind the violence targeting one of Montana's most powerful indigenous leaders. In the finale, Rainwater was attacked directly. Kayce was shot in the crossfire trying to protect him, and Tate, Kayce's teenage son, killed one of the attackers to save Rainwater's life. The second time Tate Dutton has killed someone to protect his family. The first was in Yellowstone, protecting his mother. Now he did it again, protecting a man his father trusted. And the person behind every attack this season, the one who orchestrated all of it while standing right beside Kayce as a supposed ally, was Tom Wheeler. Wheeler accepted Kayce's refusal to sell East Camp without visible anger. He let his daughter Dolly begin a relationship with Kayce, and then he hired gunmen to eliminate the people around him while Kayce was distracted. The finale confirmed all of it. One of Wheeler's men told him, "It's handled," right before he boarded a private jet. Tate was already on that plane. Wheeler told Kayce he was taking the boy on a fishing trip to Texas. Kayce said yes. And that's where Marshals Season 1 ended. 2 people under enemy fire. Kayce shot and recovering. Tate in the air with a man who just confirmed he'll do anything to take what he wants. And a destination that has never been picked randomly in this franchise. Texas. Now here's what Season 2 brings and why the timing of everything matters as much as the storyline itself. CBS officially announced Marshals in its fall 2026 primetime schedule on April 15th. The show retains its Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern time slot. Filming began June 8th, 2026 in Park City, Utah. Multiple credible outlets covering the CBS schedule have predicted an October 2026 premiere, based on how CBS handled Tracker's own transition from a spring debut to a fall return. Tracker launched on a similar spring schedule, wrapped its first run, and then moved to a traditional fall-to-spring format in subsequent seasons. If Marshals follows that same pattern, and the scheduling signals strongly suggest it will, the show returns in October and runs through approximately May 2027. Now here's the part that changes everything. Dutton Ranch Season 2 is expected in mid to late 2027, which means from October 2026 through spring 2027, Marshals is the only active Yellowstone franchise show in production. It's airing weekly while Dutton Ranch is filming. That's a runway that no previous franchise crossover attempt has ever had. Marshals can establish Tate's full Texas storyline, build toward Kayce discovering Wheeler's betrayal, and potentially bring Kayce into proximity with Beth and Rip, all within its 18 to 20 episode run, before Dutton Ranch Season 2 has aired a single episode. And Dutton Ranch Season 2 can then pick up the aftermath of whatever Marshals establishes. That's not a crossover moment. That's a crossover architecture. One show does the setup, the other inherits the consequences. Luke Grimes is not just the lead actor on Marshals. He's listed as an executive producer on the series. He has creative input into how these episodes are structured. And at SXSW, when asked about how Marshals balances the Yellowstone legacy with its own identity, he said he and creator Spencer Hudnut discussed early on wanting enough of the original show's legacy that Yellowstone fans would be satisfied, while still making Marshals stand on its own 2 feet. That's the voice of someone who understands the crossover conversation and has been thinking about it from the beginning. Here's the rehook, because there's a structural detail about Tate that the franchise has now built twice, in 2 different shows, that I think is the actual engine of everything that's coming. Tate Dutton has killed someone in Yellowstone to protect his family. He's killed someone in Marshals to protect his family. He's now in Texas with the man who put everyone he loves in danger. Every time this kid is near violence, he doesn't freeze. He acts. And every time he acts, the consequences reshape what comes next for the Duttons. In Yellowstone, his killing created a bond between him and Kayce that defined their whole relationship through the rest of that show. In Marshals, his killing saved Rainwater, but came at the cost of his father being shot and his own sense of safety being destroyed again. In Texas, he's sitting next to the person responsible for all of it. When Kayce figures out where Tate actually is, and what Wheeler actually is, what Tate has already seen and survived and done is going to be the thing that makes Kayce abandon every other obligation and go to war. And if that war happens in Texas, in the same zip code as Beth and Rip fighting a cartel, the franchise has its moment. Not as a stunt, not as a scheduled crossover episode, as the natural, inevitable result of 2 storylines that both ended with sons in Texas at the same time. So here's what we know about the timing. Marshals Season 2 is expected to premiere in October 2026 on CBS Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, available to stream on Paramount+. The season will run at least 18 episodes, and Luke Grimes confirmed at SXSW that the number is either 18 or 20, with CBS enthusiastically backing the expanded order. 18 to 20 weekly episodes from October lands the season finale somewhere between February and May 2027. Dutton Ranch Season 2 is expected to begin sometime in mid to late 2027, which means the crossover, if it happens in Marshals, airs before Dutton Ranch Season 2 has even launched. The franchise's most explosive possibility doesn't require a special event episode. It just requires both shows to keep following their characters to where they're already heading. Both of them went to Texas. So tell me what you think. Does the crossover happen inside Marshals Season 2? Or does it wait until Dutton Ranch Season 2 arrives? And how does Kayce react when he realizes Tate is in the same state as Beth's kidnapped son? Drop your predictions in the comments. I want to hear what you think the franchise is building toward. And if you want every update the moment a premiere date is officially confirmed, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate having you here for it. See you when the next piece of this lands.